bugs have really just kind of moved in and taken over the market. Today we're going to look at some analysis on what in the heck is going on with the bug hype. And bad news for you guys, you need Quacker Hercules for the deck because it's really good. It really makes the extension plays a whole lot better, but when it's walled behind such an enormous price tag, it's going to be a bad time. All right, let's dig on into this, shall we? 38.4% of you still have not hit that subscribe button. All right, we are so close to 95,000. Hit the ever-living crap out of it so we can get there. Also, I got to give a shout out here to the Mega Win playmat. There are 5 of these left in stock. All right, so if you guys want to get them, that way they are completely gone. That is it. I cleared out the queue and 3 more went in. We were literally at 2 left over. Yes, the reason why it says 2 in stock is because that is the limit per person to pick them up. All right, semantics out of the way. So today we're going to be looking at the finance report for September 3rd that came out for TCG Player. This is going to show you the top cards that have sold out of the previous weekend. You guys always look at these reports. A few of you have requested me to continue to talk about these articles. So yes, there's been a lot of bug hype. A lot of people have been talking about the deck. A lot of people, they noticed that bugs are doing things, which means that, oh, hey, maybe people are starting to pick up the stuff. Remember, we have Insector hype on the back burner here, all right, for grand creators, all right, new Insector card, which is generic probably, all right. The next wave of B-Trooper support on the way. And if you've already got something doing this well and this level of support right now, people are going to start looking at this. So yes, they talk about MBT's testing video here. They give a list for this deck. Yep, we already know. Luckily, though, for you, you don't need the Quacker Hercules in this particular build, but a lot of people do highly recommend it for the deck. So that is good news, but for extension purposes, a lot of people have talked about it. So number 10 out of this week here is Synchro Overtake. So for literally a card that acts as fusion deployment, is anybody really surprised about this? Like, we've had 2 Synchro decks top in the past week out of Dawn, which means that people are looking at this and going, huh, maybe that this is worth it. All right, literally, when the card's $10, it's not getting a reprint for in the next year. Players are going to look at this card and go, huh, if I want to play anything, Synchro package related, I need to go pick this up. All right, it really does make the deck all that better. All right, and like I said, you're already seeing it. It's got a market price of $12.50 now, and they were literally $10 recently. So anybody surprised about that? Because when you have such a staple card for an entire archetype, it should make sense. All right, so I do agree here. There aren't any secret builds out there yet, but we did have, like I said, those 2 decks that did do something. So for a locals level deck, I think that you can do a lot with it. So something to consider. Now this one's interesting. The Stellar Windwolf Riot. So it appeared in the top 10 2 weeks ago at number 7. Now it's back at number 9. All right, so the card technically hasn't done anything yet, but some virtual world builds have effectively tried to mess around with it in the past. That's about it. All right, like, it's really the only deck that's kind of taken a chance to look at it. Going forward here, Sword Soul doesn't even mess around with this card. All right, though the card being able to basically just continue to build itself up and do things doesn't seem bad, but for a budget card, it's got a $2 price tag at the moment. All right, do yourself a favor. For it being a generic synchro, and I always do say, having the generic toolbox options available to you for generic deck building purposes usually ends up being one of the better things that you can do. Personally, just having that toolbox available to you for deck building purposes is good. So once again, this doesn't shock me at all. Good, cheap, generic cards is always good. Hey, Nightmare Unicorn. So, yeah, it's a rare. It's under $1. But to see it come in at number 8 this week means that people are picking up their generic cards. It also appeared in that B-Trooper list that we talked about up there, which means that people are kind of looking at this stuff, messing around with it and going, oh, also it is a fiend monster, which means that evil twins are going to want to play this as well. So, all right, so ABC's mess around with this. It's a generic good extra deck staple. It's the exact same thing up there as the Wolf. Cheap, good staple cards push prices higher. It's just how the meta works, all right? Cheap affordability will always drive the market, all right? Of course. So let's start talking about bug hype here. Number 7, Giant Bee Trooper Invincible Atlas. $3 right now. Well, once again, we come down to that exact same thing here. Cheap affordability drives prices higher. Also, this stupid thing has a semi-boss condition built into it, and this thing gets up to 5,000 attack points. You know, a 5,000 boss monster that messes with the opponent and doesn't give them a chance to play. Yeah, insects, by the way. Cheap affordability. Back at it again. Dramaturgia. This is interesting. Nobody played Despia at the Remote Duel Invitational, but a free 3,000 body with a negation was still a powerful draw on the marketplace this week at $7 a pop. So, this is interesting, because we do have the new support coming out in the next set in Burst, which means that people are either just looking at this card as a cheap option and going, they're $7. You know, I don't have to worry about Albert, or they're just... I don't know. I think it's that cheap price appeal right now. You know, people are just like, I'll deal with Albert later. So, there's that, or I feel like I'm missing something. Nah, we're not missing anything. Bee Trooper Wasp, or excuse me, Battle Wasp the Sting. Alright, so literally, on normal summon, you get to add a Battle Wasp monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a card for every Bee Trooper deck that will need 3 copies from Battles of Legend, which is now $300 a box. It hasn't been reprinted, and it only costs $1.50. Cheap affordability. You see now we have a market price at $235 right now for this. So, literally it's Elemental Hero Stratos, but you know, not on an expensive price tag. So, that should really tell you guys something. Alright, Stratos-esque cards are always going to be a powerhouse. And also, once again, that bug hype, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, don't you love when you can just pick up a set of cards for cheap? Especially when the frickin' box itself is $300 a box. Alright, that just either tells you how much Bee or Battle Wasp stuff is in circulation that nobody really gives a beesness about. Pun intended there, by the way. Or the market is just so, like, hyped up on itself right now that it's like, we haven't caught up with this yet. So we are at the stage that the deck is very, very pseudo-meta. Maybe that's why this stuff hasn't gone up yet, but alright. Next up is Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. This is kind of interesting as well. So, still hot. The fans have spoken and they continue to make Shooting Majestic Star Dragon a hit. Personally, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is my favorite of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Era, so I get it. People love the characters, and we head to a future releases with more focus on synchros. Playing synchro monsters is just getting more and more fun. Hey, 2 synchro decks over the past weekend got the highlight. I wonder why. Alright, makes sense. Now, I saw a few Yu-Gi tubers we're talking about Mr. Insector Centipede here. Alright, this did have a reprint in an Astro Pack. It got a super upgrade. It was like $4 a couple weeks ago. A lot of people were looking at this card and going, should I be picking those up? And to see this card in number 3 right now, generic insect support, people. This stuff doesn't lock you. Battle Wasp, you know, the Bee Troopers, Insectors, they all work together. Alright? This kind of reminds me of Tri Brigade in a way. Alright? But 20-cent buyouts, by the way, Insector hype. And this one shouldn't surprise anybody either. The Ben 10 of the deck. Oh, yes, my favorite here. Alright? Real Talk Duelist Alliance was printed back in 2014. Alright, and we thought R&D had locked down some of the abusable effects should be once per turn issued by them, but apparently not. This card is the biggest reason why the Bee Trooper Battle Wasp deck works. When it's sent to the graveyard, it searches a free Bee Trooper Sting Lancer or Doom Dozer from your deck, which gets you a free extender. But when this card is banished, you can send an insect monster from your deck to the graveyard, which means you'll send Goki Pull and another search. Alright, so let's think about that. Alright, this card's now $4. This is kind of the thing that does hold the deck together, and depending on how the next support does for this, we'll have to wait and see if it really does push the deck up all that much more, but Resonance Insect was the go-to push for this deck. And then here, you can also recycle Insector, Picoflenia, and then of course, Ready Fusion here being the best buy of the week. Yeah, this card has gone up from $23 to $35 and then back down to $32 over the last week. Yeah, Quagga Hercules is over $100, but right now this card has seen an immense price spike literally over the last couple of days, which is pretty interesting. Let's see here. Looking past the top 10, B Troopers and the Stardust theme. Arrive in Light came in 11. Battle Wasp, Pin the Bullseye came in 12. Ghost Bill came in 13. And then Seraphim came in 14. And Battle Wasp Twin Bow came in 15th place. So a lot of bug hype here, ladies and gentlemen. It really does go to show. So guys, what do you think about the breakdown for this week? All sorts of weird stuff happening in the market, but bugs look like they've taken the top spots all the way around. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Smash the love it, crap out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Wasp content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on today. Some more Wasp content. Don't forget to pick up your awesome playmats. All right, they might be gone by the chance you guys get there, but there's still MCOL 40 giant sleeves available. Still can't believe that mess up. All right, guys, peace.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out MCOL 40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCOL 40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.